We need some masala. You stay with the bigger wattage, because like on these older buildings, you see we got a whole, we got 30, 50 watt panels, and they're on trackers. So, you have to have a maintenance man just to deal with that. And so we're going to switch all of them. We got so many buildings that we can't keep up, really. And that's another thing. You don't want to have to keep up. You want everything to be so that, you don't have to do maintenance. The early versions of all of this was a lot of things you had to do. It was like running a sailboat. But now the versions that we have out now, they're very minimal in terms of operation and maintenance. So, but if you're in a cloudy area, my recommendation now would be thin film solar panels, which still would go right on that same place. You can actually surface the whole area. Right now, if you notice, like on the global model that you'll see in a little bit, there's like 6 panels up there, or 4 in some cases. Well, it takes more area with the thin film solar, so you just surface this whole thing. The whole length of the building would be a solar collector of thin film. And then that's going to get you, in a cloudy area, that's going to get you some power, even in cloudy days. And then in the cloudy area, you would throw in a vertical axis windmill. But it would be within a couple of 3 months, we will have this real beautiful one we call a dynasphere. It's a sphere with a vertical axis. And the reason it's a sphere is because these cylinder ones, it's all about small amount of wind starting the blade, and everybody knows the principle of leverage. Well, on a cylinder, there's just a little bit of leverage. Look how much more leverage there is on a sphere with the same height. There's a lot more leverage in the blade, and plus it's beautiful. So we're making this whole sculptural thing that's going to set out here on this big post and spin and make power. And so we'll be taking those to Norway and different places where it's cloudy. And so windmills are a maintenance issue. I mean, if you ever see like the wind farms, in addition to being dangerous for flocks of birds and whatever that, they're always, half of them, have you ever seen a wind farm with every windmill turning? They're always half of them down. It's maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. And a bit of danger and an environmental hazard and so on. I don't particularly buy wind farms. The one wind farm I did like was in the bay out in front of Copenhagen. They've got a bunch of them out in the sea. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. But still, see, the whole thing with wind farms is, other than maintenance, it's clustered power, centralized power, that you're having to move through an infrastructure to get to the homes. So centralization is really the wrong direction, in my opinion. A good example of centralization being faulty is, say, a municipality it has to do with the condition of the planet now and what we have to do to cope with the planet changing very fast. Population growing, resources dwindling, climate change, for whatever reason, whether it's man-caused or not. The world around us is changing. We need to evolve. We're used to evolving very slowly. We need to evolve faster. Here is part of our dilemma. Typical municipality of 50,000 people may go together and get their tax dollars together and build a coal-fired power plant or some kind of a centralized utility. That process takes, a few years to raise the money once the commission votes on it. Get some architects and engineers to design it for a couple years with the latest, best technology. Then get it built for 3 or 4 years. And then they've got $50 million in this power plant. And they are stuck with that now. They've got $50 million in it. They've got to use it for 50 years. They're not going to evolve with something new coming out in the next year because they've already got their $50 million spent. So where they are is they are taking their increment of evolution and making it be 50 years. So that little municipality can't evolve except every 50 years. Well, the strongest things on the planet are bacteria and virus. They evolve boom, 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 just like that as fast as we come up with new antibiotics. They come up with new evolutions because they're little small, simple things. So centralization limits our evolution to big increments like 50 years. Building one home that has everything in it. Hell, a home is built every hour on this planet. So we can take our increment of evolution down to an hour. Because every time, if the whole world were building these kind of homes, they would be building one every hour or less, and things would be learned every hour. Because every time we build one, we just got the Sutton one almost done, we've got changes to make because we've learned more. So our increment of evolution is way down, and that's what's necessary to make it through the future. If we keep limiting ourselves to 50-year increments of evolution, we're just going to go down the tubes, stuck. It's all about evolution. Centralization of utilities is killing us. Decentralization gives us a door to the future so that we can maybe keep up with bacteria and virus. Or what we're trying to do is mimic them. We're trying to be like bacteria and virus, just infect the whole damn planet. So, that's a good argument, I think, for homes, just the overall concept, for homes doing everything for the people. In addition to that, I always, I look at all the positive things, and there's a lot of them. In addition to facilitating more rapid evolution, it empowers people. All of a sudden, you're in charge of your power. Nobody can shut your power off. You're in charge of your water. You're in charge of your sewage. You're in charge of your life. You own your life. So we're taking that even further so that, right now you have to buy this, and it's the same game as buying a conventional home, loans, bank payments, and so on. That's why we're taking this EVE project further to actually take the economic aspect out of that so that you can just walk into this EVE project and start working and have a place to live that is decentralized, that is secure, rather than walking into a $1,500 a month mortgage and going through the begging and pleading for a bank to loan you the money and all of that. I mean, still, we're doing that too because we're selling Earthships right and left, and some people have cash on hand to pay for them, and some still have to get loans. But we have recognized that need for people just to need to walk off the streets and into this kind of living. And if we are successful, and I'm sure we will be with the EVE project, if we can make it happen fast enough, we won't just be building Earthships around the world. We'll be building Earthship village ecologies around the world to just take people off the streets and right into, 1, an education, 2, a place to live, 3, a job that gives them a place to live, and their need for money is going to be down to the point where they could panhandle and get enough for a jug of wine, because that's really all they would need, unless we start making our own booze too.
We need some masala.